there are two types of properties, two types of opportunities that we can purchase, right? There's off market. I'm hearing some background, and I don't know if it's because of, hold on. Just bear with me while I adjust the sound. I'm hearing something. Okay. All right. So when we are acquiring properties, there are two types of properties that we can go after. We can go after the off-market properties, and we can go after the on-market. Now, obviously, off-market properties are properties that are not currently listed with real estate agents. So these are also known as direct to seller transactions, right? For sale by owners, right? These are where we are communicating directly with the seller. We are making offers directly to the seller, and we are purchasing the properties directly from the sellers. Those are typically off market. Now, just because they're off market, though, doesn't mean that you can't get them from real estate agents. You can get them. So you can get off market deals from realtors. All right. Now, why is this important, and why do you want to work with realtors, and why do you want to work with real estate agents to bring you these off-market deals? Because real estate agents, right, and there are a lot of them, are in direct communication with sellers all the time as well. So the same way we are contacting sellers to try to get these deals, there are real estate agents that are contacting sellers trying to get listings. All right. And if you build good relationships with real estate agents, what will happen is that these real estate agents will then start to refer you off-market deals. All right. So how do we build a relationship with an agent? Well, number one, going back to what I've always said, you want to try to focus on 3 different markets. All right. Take advantage of the time zones. So you can work an East Coast market, you can work a Midwest market, you can work a West Coast market. Shoot, you can even work, Hawaii if you want to. But the point that I'm trying to make is you want to identify different time zones so that you can take advantage of those time zones based on when you can work this business, right? So if you're East Coast, you can start at 9 a.m. on the East Coast, or excuse me, at lunchtime on the East Coast, and you could, in theory, be calling people on the West Coast. Okay. If you're on the West Coast, you can start your day as early as 5 a.m. and you can start calling people on the East Coast at 8 a.m. So you want to identify 3 different markets that allow you to maximize your time during the day. You only have a limited number of hours during the day to work. And because of that, I know that a lot of people who are working this business, they are working this business part-time. They're working it on the side on top of what they're already doing. And so because of that, you need to maximize when you can work this business and take advantage of those time zones. So you want to go after 3 markets. You want to get those markets so that you can work them around your already pre-existing schedule. Okay. So 3 different markets. Then when you do that, you want to also go back in there and you want to identify 3 to 5 agents in each of those markets that tend to focus on fixer-uppers, right? So you want to focus on the agents that tend to already work that genre, tend to already work this sector. That's what you really want to do. So I've noticed that a lot of times people are teaching other people how to get a hold of, let me try to close this a little bit and then we'll word wrap it. They are teaching people that they should be doing agent outreach. And what's happening is they're contacting just a bunch of agents. And when they contact all of these agents, number one, you don't know if the agent really has any productivity, any production. And so you're talking to an agent and you may say, hey, do you have any off-market deals? And then the agent really isn't working. There are a lot of real estate agents that are also part-time. Okay, that is another thing that people don't realize. You don't assume that just because someone is a real estate agent that, number one, they're full-time. And don't assume, number two, that they're actively practicing. There are a lot of people who have licenses and they're not even really working as real estate agents. So what I want us to do is I want us to be targeted. I really need us to be targeted about who it is that we are approaching when it comes to being a real estate agent so that they can bring you off-market deals. So you want to identify 3 to 5, and let me add something to that. Active agents that tend to focus on fixer-uppers. So let's do this in real time just so that you can see what it is that I'm talking about. Let's maximize this window. Let's go into Zillow. Okay, so now let's say that I want to focus on the market. And let's say I want to go into, I don't know, Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, we'll work Jacksonville, Florida for a little bit. Then what I want to do is I want to see the houses that are currently on the market for sale and the ones that look like they are fixer uppers, right? Because those are the ones, if we're focusing on wholesaling, right? Or you could also be focusing on acquiring them using creative finance. It doesn't really matter, but for now, again, let's just look for the agents that specialize in this genre of real estate. Sort them by the lowest to highest. And typically they'll start with the lowest, and you'll be able to see the houses that have, obviously they need some kind of work. So we've got one here. This is obviously, it looks like they've done some improvement to it, but it still needs a little bit of work. And then, am I coming in choppy? Because my mouse seems to be a little quirky. So what I would do is I would then give Christopher Kirk a call, and I would say, hey, Chris, and I'll do this in real time because, you know, I think it's important that people see what it is that we're talking about. So let me call Chris, and I'll show you what the conversation is like. Telephone number is already there. Let's see if he answers. Put this right next to the mic. I can help you. Chris, hey, good afternoon. My name is Paul. I'm calling about your listing over on 13th Street. Is that still available? Okay. So I'm calling. I'm a real estate investor. I see the extra parcel number that you put in there. Still give a discount for a 3-day close quick claim deed. So the seller is interested in selling this using a quick claim deed. Is that right?
Or you can run title, but he's not giving a discount.
Okay. Have you guys already done a title search on this or a survey?
No.
Okay, so none of that is available right now. But closing with a quick claim deed is an option. It would still be subject to the quick claim would still be subject to a clear title, though, right? No.
The title over to you.
Right. Okay, but the transaction wouldn't be insured by a title company. All right. Okay. No problem. So this one might not be for me, but listen, I am looking for properties that I can purchase. Some of them will fix and flip. Some of them will hold on to as rentals. Do you have any other stuff that you might? Nothing, huh? Well, do me a favor. In the event you get something. Oh, you typically don't get anything? Is that what you said?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Oh, wow. Well, you got this one.
That's because he's an owner of mine.
Oh, I see. Okay. So it's just.
Okay. All right.
Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Anyway, so he clearly wasn't open to the conversation, but you already saw where I was going to go with that. So what I was going to do was, hey, Chris, listen, this one might not be for me, but here's why I'm calling. I am looking for off-market opportunities. If you get any more, here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to text you my contact information. I would hang up the phone with him. I would call Chris back right away, text him, or excuse me, I'd hang up and text him right away, text him all my contact information, and then maintain communication with him. All right. Now, clearly, he's not one of the 3 agents that I would be working with as an active agent. It seems to me like Chris tends to focus strictly on just property management, which is fine. That's his forte, which is great. That's why he says I typically don't get any of these, because it doesn't look like he really lists a lot of property. It looks like he handles property management. That's what he does. But whatever. That's one way to do it. Okay, so we're calling up agents. We're looking at the agents that tend to specialize in properties that are fixers. Let's see if we got any more. This might look like one. Yep, this is a fixer. I'm going to try this one too. Ryan L. Corson. Now, here's the thing. The script for calling agents is very, very simple. All right. And again, we have all of our scripts. If you go to scripts.goya.gg, they're all there. Scripts.goya.gg. We've put them in a Google Drive folder. And we have the generic, the lead manager, pre-foreclosure, probate, and on the market script with an agent. All right, so that one's already there, and you just use a script. Script is already there. All right, now I might deviate just a little bit from it. As you could tell, I deviated on that one just because it was a unique situation where he was talking about how he could sell it through a quick claim deed. And I might as well talk about that real quick for those of you who are hearing that for the first time. If a seller is selling the property through a quick claim deed, all you're doing is you're giving the money, they're quick claiming the deed to you, and you are responsible for everything else. There's no title insurance involved in that transaction. If there's any liens or anything wrong with the property, the buyer assumes all of that stuff. So typically you aren't going to want to purchase a property utilizing a quick claim, right? That's one of the reasons it says you'll get a discount if you just do a quick claim deed, because there's something going on there. There's something attached to that property, and that's the only reason he's willing to sell it that way, right? Or he would have some type of a survey or some type of a title report on it already. I'm checking the chat just to make sure there's any questions about what it is that I'm covering right now. All right, so here's another one. This is another good example of one. Multiple offers received, submit highest and best offer by 8/7/1 p.m. Okay, so it looks like this one already has offers, and it looks like this one's already going to go. I'm going to call Ryan anyway just to see if he has any other opportunities for me. So let's give him a call. Sorry, my phone is acting up. 904 853 6018. Hold it up. Now, another way to get agents to work with.
Thank you for calling Cora Realty. If you are a buyer calling about one of our listings, please press 1 now. If you're an agent calling to schedule a selling appointment or
one of the best ways to build rapport with an agent is by bringing value to them. So one of the things that I do with the agents that I am working with in the markets that I'm working on is anytime I come across a lead, right? Not all sellers that I'm going to work with as off-market deals, when I'm working my off-market deals direct to seller, not all of them are going to turn.
Calling Cora Realty. We are unavailable to take your call.
All right, so I'm going to have to find another telephone number for him because it's clearly not showing up. But what's my point? Where was I going with this? Where I was going with this was not all deals that I am speaking to are going to turn into a transaction. So I may be talking to a seller and maybe my offer might be too low, or maybe that seller doesn't want to sell it at the price that would make sense for us, or maybe it's not. It's the listing is too nice and it doesn't really. There's no opportunity for us to purchase it creatively, and so this is the type of property that really should go on the market. One of the best ways to build rapport with agents is to bring value to them. So anytime you have a potential lead, you want to always try to see if there's a way that you could refer them to an agent. So when I am speaking to my sellers and I have a potential deal that's not going to go anywhere, I may end the conversation like this. I may say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, listen, I appreciate you giving the opportunity for me to purchase this property. I appreciate you working with me. It really doesn't seem like this deal is going to make sense, at least not with my numbers and what it is that you're looking for. And so it probably makes more sense for this to be put on the market as a retail listing or to work with an agent. Have you selected an agent to work with? Are you working with an agent right now? And they're either going to say yes or they're going to say no. And then I'm going to say, hey, listen, I have someone that I work with. They're a great agent. They've helped me out. I'd like to refer you over to them, and they can talk to you about potentially getting the property ready and prepped so that you can put it on the market. All right. Then I build rapport for the agent. I edify them a little bit, and then I make the introduction, or I just call the agent and I say, hey, listen, John or Jane, look, I have a potential seller here. I was going to purchase a property directly from them, but it didn't turn into anything. And so maybe what you should do is contact them so that you can so that you can list the property for them. Now, because I am a real estate agent or I am a licensed broker, I can refer that client to them and they can give me a referral fee back. That's another way we can generate income. But again, if you are referring transactions that aren't going to go anywhere to your VIP agents, right, to your 3 to 5 VIP active agents in those markets, if you're referring them clients, if you're referring them business, then they're going to reciprocate that, right? That's your value, right? Because they know that if they bring you these off-market opportunities, you're also going to bring them the sellers that aren't going to go anywhere, or the sellers that you're not going to be able to convert into a transaction. And so it's a win-win situation. That's how you build value for yourself when you're working with real estate agents. You refer them other clients, even though you may not have gotten anything from them. Okay, you know that maybe right now they don't have any opportunities for you, but you still continue to feed them. You continue to refer any of the deals that aren't going to go anywhere for you, and you refer those to the agent, the off-market deals directly to the seller, so that the agent can list them. All right, so Ryan, I couldn't get a hold of him. This was his office number. I'm glad that happened, because I want you to then understand that there's ways where you can find them. So what you can do is you can just Google the telephone number, Google the person, you do a search, and then you click on their realtor profile, and there may be another telephone number there. No, he's only putting, he only puts the office. Okay, so let's find the website. I will then visit his website, and that's the telephone number I believe that shows up there too, 853-6018. Sometimes it takes a little bit of effort. He's part of NRBA. Cool. All right, nothing there. So the next thing that I will do is I will try to go on Facebook, see if I can find them there. I will shoot them a message through Facebook, etc., etc., etc. I will use everything at my disposal to try to get a hold of Ryan. All right, he's really good about keeping that telephone number prevalent, but that's only the office number. Let's see if there's anything on the flyer. Same thing, same thing, same thing. Okay. All right, no problem. So this might not be one that's going to go anywhere. But, you know, I can call the office, leave my number. I can send them a message. I can shoot them an email. I can try all of that stuff to see if we can get it. So that's another one that I would probably contact the agent direct. Here's another fixer. I'm starting to see all the fixers are going for about this price, about 100, 125. Melissa Charter, let's give her a call. Let's try this. Let's see if she answers. Now, remember, today we're talking about getting agents to give you off-market deals. But the way to find these agents is to work with agents that have a prior history of dealing with properties that look like this. Okay? So that way, the ones that they don't list, they can bring to you. Or sometimes these properties fall out of escrow. So look, this one's been on Zillow for 32 days. I don't know if it went into escrow or not. Yeah, look how many, let's see, right? Pending in July, then it fell. Pending again, then it fell. So it's clearly falling in and out of escrow a lot. Remember, check the property history. That's important.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
That's another thing. Be prepared that a lot of real estate agents don't answer their phone. So what I would then do is call again. We'll try twice. And we'll see if they answer. But Paul, you're calling people twice. Isn't that going to annoy them? Isn't that going to bother them? Yeah, well, we're doing business here. You're going to have to get over that fear.
Hello.
Hi. Good morning. I'm looking for Melissa, please.
This is Devin. Are you calling about the property?
Hey, Devin. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I dialed your number. That's okay. I'm glad you answered. Yeah, I'm calling about that one on Thomas Street. So I'm interested in it. I'm an investor. It looks like something right up our alley for a fix and flip. I noticed that it fell out of escrow twice though. And I was calling to see, if you might be able to shed some light as to why that happened.
Basically, other investors, of course, are interested in it as well.
Mhm.
They're bidding on it.
Mhm.
And once they do the inspection, they realize they overbid
Okay.
and they aren't willing to pay that amount for it. Because the aftermarket value is not favorable for them
I see.
after they do their numbers.
Oh, okay. So the aftermarket value is not favorable to them after they do their numbers and complete the inspection. Am I hearing you right?
Correct.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have any inspection reports that any of them have provided, or did the investors just bring contractors?
I don't have any on hand.
Okay.
I'm looking for one. Someone said they were going to send me the inspection report that they just did, but I haven't received it yet.
Got
So
it.
no, I don't have any.
Okay. So right now you don't have
So
any.
what are you thinking?
Well, I'm going to crunch my numbers.
Numbers
I mean, what is everybody telling you the ARV is going to be after it's fixed?
between 180 and 2, but I think you could probably go up to 220.
Between 180 and 2, but
The
maybe,
max,
maybe 220, huh?
I'm thinking 220.
Yeah.
Max.
All right. The only challenge I have is at 1,800 square feet, I'm thinking it's going to cost us about 75 to 80,000 to fix. I mean, what do you think?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking roughly about that much, 80,000. So, and the challenge then is that if we purchase it at 125 plus 80, we're now at 200. And that's the reason the investors they're walking away from the deal after. Is there any flexibility on this?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Is there any flexibility on the seller's side at all?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
None of them have been at 125.
None of them have been at 125. Okay. Do you have any offers on the table right now?
At the very moment, none.
None. Okay. All right.
None. I've had someone else call me yesterday and they said they were going to submit one. I haven't received it yet.
Okay. Well, let me do this. Let me crunch some of my own numbers and bless you. And let me figure out what I think we can come in at to be safe. So have you guys completed a survey or done a title on it, a title search on it yet, or no?
No.
No. Okay. All right. So I'm going
But
to.
I'm really positive all of that is clear.
Got it. Cool. All right. If I want to get an offer over to you, do you want me to just email it to you?
Please email it to me. And what was your name again?
My name is Paul.
Okay. Yeah, if you can email it to Devin the Realtor at Gmail.
Devin the Realtor at Gmail.
Do you see that? Do you see that on the MLS? Did you?
No, I didn't, but I'm glad you told me that.
I can text it to you.
Okay, yeah, text it to me. That would be great. And then
I'll text this number.
let's see if I get you something a little bit later on. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Devin. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right. So let's analyze this real quick. I forgot to ask her for off-market deals anyway. Well, now we're talking about how to get on-market deals. All right. So let's run this real fast. Okay. I'm doing this live. You guys are going to see it. It's a 5-bed, 1-bath, 1,700 square feet. Now, remember, I've covered this with everybody that when we're doing repairs, I typically tend to use $25 for lipstick fixtures, $45 for remodels, and $75 for total gut jobs. This one, to me, kind of looks like it might be a $45 a square foot job. And those numbers are a little high because I'm using California numbers, 25, 45, and 75. So in Florida, to do this for about $40 a square foot sounds like it might work out. I'm not really sure, but let me check the ARV because I don't see how that's going to fly. So this property is right here. This is my slice of heaven as to where I should be getting my comps. And if we take a look at it right now, in this little pocket, this little area, there have been no sales. I'm going to try to remove the square footage and see if I get something else, because I don't see any type of sales there in the last, let's do last 14 days. So in the last 14 days, we've got properties, but they're all much smaller. I don't see anything around 1,700 square feet that have sold. So I'll do 22.5, still nothing. So this does concern me. It concerns me that in this pocket right here, there haven't been any sales in the last 14 days and even in the last 6 months. Look at that, nothing. And this is where the property is. So that's another reason that investors might be having a challenge with this. And if you're looking at this 275, I already can tell you that that's not going to be a comp. That's a new build, right? You can't be comparing new construction to old homes. So there's no way it's going to go at 275, even though it might fit the square footage. And then here's one for 185. She just texted me too. This isn't really a flip. Yeah, I just don't see it. I don't know how she's getting 185, 105. Let's see what sold for 105. So here's another property that sold for 105, and I don't know what the inside looked like. But anyway, I'm going to have to run my numbers to see what we would comp this at, because normally I wouldn't want to cross the highway into this neighborhood. Is this new construction too? I can't tell. 1951. So this might work as a comp. That may be why she got 222 on there. Let's see what it was purchased for. So this property was purchased public record, private sale back in September for 95, and then they put it on the market for 239, and then they ended up selling it for 222. So 220 actually sounds like it might work. Again, the only concern I have is that it is way up here, and our property is down here. And I think that might be within a mile radius, but still it's probably in a different neighborhood. And in this neighborhood, there have been no sales. So to adjust for that, I may say that it's only going to go for about 200. Let me see the last sale that happened in this area. Let's go 12 months. So here's 12 months, and this one happened at 271. I hope that's not new construction, because if it is, that doesn't help me. 2019. So, that's scary that in this area, the last property that sold for that amount was about a year ago. Here's another one that sold for 85. So this one sold for 85,000, 4-bed, 2-bath in September. So these are the last sales in the area. So I would say about 200,000 is what ARV would be on this one, but it is a 5-bed, 1-bath. Anyway, let's use our formula. So if it's worth 200,000, and let's say I want to get it at 65% ARV, I'm down to 130 minus 80 for repairs. Now, 130 minus 80. Now I'm at 50. And let's say I want to make $10,000. Now I'm at 40. So on this one, I would probably be offering around 40 or 50,000 in order to make this work. And I don't know if they're going to take that, but that would be my offer. So I just did a live one on how to go after on-market deals. Now, just so you know, if you need an on-market deal partner, we are licensed in Florida. We're licensed in Florida, California, Nevada, so we can write up the offer ourselves and we can present it over to them. Okay, just so that you know. So maybe I'll write it up and present it to them and see what they say. She's probably going to say, go pound rocks, but we'll see. We'll see if this is something that might work. So you can find opportunities for on-market deals. You still can find them on the MLS. You just have to be really diligent about your numbers and doing the research on it. And you have to get a hold of people. You have to speak to people. You have to talk to agents. Sometimes people get intimidated talking to agents because they assume that since they're talking to a real estate agent, the agent is going to know more than them. They don't want to sound stupid. They don't want to burn their opportunity. But at the end of the day, look, agents are just, they're professionals who have taken an exam, got their license, and they're representing a seller. Okay, so there's nothing There are some very, very educated realtors and agents and brokers, but don't let that intimidate you from calling them. You want to get used to using that language. And that's one of the reasons that I'm doing this today, so that you can hear how the conversations go, right? The conversations aren't super high level, especially not with some of the properties that are damaged like this, okay? So one of the things I should have done, and I'm glad she texted me, was remind her that I'm looking for other off-market opportunities. All right, so I just got a comment from, can you price yourself out of pocket listings by lowballing? I have a couple of offers that were not accepted, but I want to maintain the relationships and ensure that they keep responding, keep sending them. That is an excellent question, Yolanda. So Yolanda just asked if you could price yourself out of pocket listings by lowballing. You know, look, you're gonna lose and burn more relationships by not performing than you will by offering low numbers, okay? Because here's the deal. As an investor, if you make an offer, you know your numbers. So for instance, I already know my numbers. I'd like to be around the $40,000 range on this one, maybe 50 tops. That's where I want to be, right? So you will burn more bridges by going over your numbers, getting into an escrow, and then having it fall out, because then what will happen is that agent won't trust you. Okay, that agent will not, they won't rely on you when it comes time to closing. Okay, so it's better for you to hold firm and to stick to your numbers based on your research, based on the educated research that you've done. It's better to do it that way and then present the offer and have them say, no, you know what, that number is not going to work. Versus you coming up to their number, getting into a transaction, going into escrow, going under contract, and then having you having to cancel because the numbers don't work. Because what will happen is that agent has lost their confidence in your ability to perform, and then they won't want to bring you additional opportunities. Agents, we can take bad news. We can take people saying, hey, here's the best I can offer. We can take lowball offers, right? Now, there will be some that will get offended, and some of those agents will say, I'm not even going to present that, which is completely irrational. And I'm going to talk about why that's irrational a little bit. But the point is, we can take that because we take a lot of that anyway. So that's okay. That's everyday business for most real estate agents. But what we don't like and what we can't take is when someone gets into a contract and then they cancel it. All right, so I hope that answers your question, Yolanda. Don't be afraid to give them your real number, right? That's actually the best way to do it, as opposed to going in there, giving them a number, and then trying to whittle it down once you're under contract. Because then what happens is the agent has to go back to the seller and try to renegotiate, and that doesn't always work out in their favor. Okay, so okay, cool. Now, what time is it? 9:40. So here's the script. Remember, it's in scripts.goya.gg. That's our domain name. You use those scripts and then you contact the agents. And keep in mind, I think I put it in the notes. Let's put that in there. Okay. So you also want to bring value. Bring value. So refer any sellers that do not convert into a deal to your VIP agents. That's another way, Yolanda, that you can keep these agents feeding you. Anything that doesn't turn into a deal, anything that doesn't, just refer it to them. Okay. Look, even if it's, I mean, you obviously you want to prepare the seller for the fact that you're going to make a handoff or a warm introduction, so that way when the agent calls, at least the seller knows that they were going to call, as opposed to just calling the agent and just saying, hey, this person said they were going to sell, and then giving them a phone number. That's not value. That's not bringing value. That's going to annoy the agent, because what's going to happen is the agent's going to then call that person, and that person's going to be like, I didn't say that. And then now you've got, conflicting information, and you've got people that may not, the conversation's already starting off on the wrong foot. So make sure that if you are going to refer over a seller to an agent, to a realtor, to a broker that didn't convert for you, make sure that you prepare that person for the fact that you're going to refer them an agent. That is value. And then you refer the agent over. And then what you've done is now you've created a business partner with that, a partnership with that agent, because they know that they can count on you for referrals. And people don't want to lose a referral source. Okay, they don't. Okay, if you have, think about this, 3 to 5 VIP agents in 3 to 5 different markets. That's about 9 to 10 different agents in those markets. You're telling me those 9 to 10 agents aren't going to be able to bring you at least 1 or 2 off-market opportunities every single year? Of course. And if those 1 or 2 transactions are worth let's say a wholesale fee of $10,000 to $15,000, what does that mean? That's over 6 figures a year in wholesale fees just from the agents that are referring you over this business. Okay, so the key here is identify who your agents are going to be, that you're going to refer them deals that don't work out for you in those markets. Now, what that means though is that if you're going to be referring them, then you have to really focus on those markets. Focus on those markets, right? Because you're not going to be able to bring them any value if you're not really working those markets. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's also very, very important. You can't keep bouncing around from area to area to area because then you're really not building any real traction. You want to build deep, right? That's what you want to do. You don't want to necessarily go so wide that you don't have any potential referrals that you can refer over to those agents that you're going to be hoping on or counting on for off-market opportunities. All right, let's see if I can find one more. Checking comments. Good. Okay. Let's see another one. So we've got that one. Called that one. Let's see if this one is a fixer. Okay, so let's analyze this property. This type of a property is a cosmetic fixer. It's not like a super, well, it looks like they put new windows. Let's try this agent. 55 days on Zillow. Frank Shaolin. So this part isn't sexy, right? This isn't the sexy part of the business. Getting the checks is the sexy part. But this part, this is the part that people don't want to do.
Leave your mess.
I'm going to try them again. Call people twice, they'll pick up. I didn't realize I was dialing Devin twice last time, but she answered on the second call, right? Don't be afraid to do that. And forgive me if I'm not looking directly at the camera every time. Remember, I've got dual screens, so I'm looking at one screen to the other. Hey, Frank.
Yeah.
Hi, good morning. Oh, excuse me, good afternoon. My name's Paul. I'm calling about your listing on McConaughey.
Okay.
Is that still available?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm an investor. I'm interested in the property. Do you currently have any offers on the table?
I think we have a few came in yesterday evening and this morning.
Wow.
I haven't looked at it.
Okay.
I just confirmed the receipt already.
So you have one that came in last evening and potentially this morning, but you haven't looked at it yet, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm outside with clients.
Oh, you're with clients right now. I'm sorry. Okay. Do you want me to call you back?
No problem. Oh, no problem.
Okay.
Just had lunch.
Oh, you're just having lunch. I see. Okay. So,
Handle it.
so I noticed that the property was in escrow in early June, or it was under contract in July. And then it fell out of escrow. Actually, it happened twice. Why does it keep falling out?
It's all the flipping company.
Oh, all the flipping companies. That's what's happening?
Yeah, like you guys, flipping it for 10 days. Put a deposit, open escrow, these are the same stuff.
Oh,
As you understand, I do flipping too,
yeah.
but take care of the buyer side.
Sure.
Anyway,
Well, look, I don't like going under contract and canceling. I think it's a waste of everybody's time.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
And
so,
they EMB and inspection period, all these things.
yeah, I don't like to do that. So,
Some might look, some look really serious, so I have to sell a sign back and then they kept it.
all right, well,
Yeah,
when,
absolutely. Right?
yeah. Well, when we make an offer, we know that the price we make the offer on, we know that we can close on. Otherwise, I won't make the offer. Do you have any other do you have any other inspection reports from the last deals?
The inspection report, no, they didn't give us.
Oh, they didn't give it to you. Okay. What price range were the other offers coming in at?
It was, under 10,
110?
yeah.
Okay, so the other offers were at about 110?
Yeah, that's the last accepted offer is 110.
Oh, the last one was 110. And then after that, they did the inspection and they canceled, yeah?
And I don't know if they inspected.
Oh, they didn't even inspect it. Wow.
Yeah, for the $1,000. Mostly it's flipping inside this thing.
Got it. Okay. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. Let me crunch my numbers. I don't think
New roof, new AC.
new roof and new AC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to remodel it. I think it's probably going to cost us about
But the main
six.
item is roof.
Yeah.
The main item is, AC.
Right. But I still think I'm going to spend about $50,000 to $60,000 remodeling it. I think. Just looking at the pictures.
No.
You don't think so?
Be on top of the roof.
Okay.
Because the new roof, right?
Yeah. Okay.
We read the writer
Mm-hmm.
did that.
Yeah, I see that in the pictures.
Good. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Let me work on it and then we'll get you something. And if you, by the way, if you have any off-market opportunities that's not on the MLS, I'm going to text you my phone number and my name and my email. Let me know. We close. That's one of the things that we do. We do close, but we're very, we're going to tell you what our number is. And if we can't get it at that number, then I won't waste your time either. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Frank. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so I went through the questions. You saw that I was asking them. So number one, is it available? Number two, do you have any offers? This time I really stuck to the script a little bit more. Number three, have you received any offers? And he did. And number four, what price range did they come in at? So a lot of times people, these are questions that you get intimidated, especially newer people. They're afraid of asking the agent what those offers came in at, what price it came in at. They don't want to ask those questions for fear that the agent is going to tell them something like, it's none of your business, you shouldn't know that, I don't need to share that with you, which is possible. Those are things that some agents will in fact tell you. They're not obligated to share that with you. In some cases, they shouldn't share that with you, right? Because their job is to get the sellers the highest price possible. But at the same time, some of these agents will also work to mediate, right, and to make the sale work for everybody. So anyway, my point is you want to ask them what range did it come in at? How many offers have you had? Why did it fall out of escrow? And you can find all this stuff out if you look at the property history. If you go down to the price tax and history, you'll see when it was listed, when it went pending, So this has now happened 3 times. 3 times this has happened to this property. All right. So I'm going to comp this one out in front of everybody and share with everybody what I would probably offer on this. I still think it's about $60,000 in repairs personally. Maybe you can get away 50. And what's my rule? I share this with everybody. You want to underprice ARV and overprice repairs. Okay. Always be conservative with what you think it's going to sell for, and always assume that it's going to cost more to get the property fixed up. So in this particular case, I think this one's going to cost us about $60,000 to repair. Let me check the comps, and then this will be my last example for the day. Where's the map? Okay, let's look at where this property is. And I have a feeling that after doing this training, the people that see this video will then go and make an offer with Frank, but that's okay. We're here to learn. So my slice of heaven right here. Okay. I can go as far as this. I can maybe go as far as this. Right. And if I have to, I can do all this, but I will not use comps in this area or there or over there. All right. So now let's look here. 1,500 square feet. Let's go sold. Let's see what is sold in the last 14 days or nothing. That's not good. It's not a good sign. Let's see what is sold in the last 30 days. 75. So we've got a 4-bed, 2-bath, 1,700 square feet. Looks like a major fixer. I'm going to assume that this was private sale. Let's take a look. Boom. Private sale. This means that an investor went directly to the seller, made them an offer, and they got this property for $75,000. Okay. Haven't been any other sales in this area. That's not a good sign. Let's see, 90 days. All right, 90 days, we have some activity. We've got 118. 5-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet. Yeah. This is what's sold in May. Seems like it's in pretty similar condition, if you ask me. Right? Very similar condition to the other property. Did I see an ADU? Two units. Wow, it's 2 units and it sold for 118. And that's the highest sale in the area. We got another 101, 4-bed, 2-bath, 1892. Okay, so let's look at this. This is this property obviously needs cosmetic repairs, maybe a little bit more than cosmetic. Oh yeah, we've got some damage there. This is probably a $50, maybe $60 square foot. And this one ended up selling for 100. Okay, so if that sold for 100 to an investor, he is asking 125. I still don't see any flips. So I haven't found any flips that have sold. Let's see when the last flip was sold in this market, in that little pocket. 175. Let's take a look at this one. 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,700 square feet. This is not a flip, but this is a very livable home. It looks like they did some work to it. And this one sold for 175. 3-bed, 2-bath. I think that might be the highest. 225. All right, let's look at this. Finally, we've got our comp. I think this is a flip. That's the garage, right? I can't tell. Yeah, so it's a nice home. It's not totally flipped, but this one sold for 225. 4-bed, 3-bath, 1,700 square feet. Is this units? 4 bedrooms. Nope, it's not a flip. But it sold for 225. That's the highest sale in the market. I don't see anything else that is sold for that price, 225. Let's see this one, 4-bed, 2-bath, 1,694. Yeah, there's no flipping going on in this market, and I don't know why. Okay. So what do I buy this property for if I wanted to make an offer? Because I have no real properties to compare it to, other than that one that maybe sold for 225. Let's see a year ago. I don't like to go as far as back as a year, but I don't really have a choice. 164. This home is for sale, not for rent. This looks like again, nice home. No, I feel like it's virtually staged. I could be wrong though. They put carpet and some paint. It looks like they painted paint over paint. Not bad. I would have taken the texture out of the walls. This one sold for 163 a year ago. Yeah, I don't really have any flips. No flips. Maybe this. Same deal. When you see texture on the walls like that, that's an older sign of them painting over paint. I mean, it's nice. 140. All right. So my question then is, what am I gonna sell this for if it was flipped? I'm starting to think that it'd probably go for about 175, maybe 200 if you're lucky. If you're lucky, because you've got average homes going for about 160. Let's see, in the last 14 days, let's remove the square footage. So when you run into these situations, this is where you also take a look at the smaller homes and you see what the smaller homes have sold for. Here we go. Is this a flip? No, just a nicer home. This one sold for 125. Yeah, 125. Sorry, I know this is the boring part about what we do. This one sold for 125. Was this a private sale? Built in 2008. We're not going to use that. And we're approaching the 10 o'clock mark. Okay, so I'm thinking then if this was fixed up, this might go for 185 to 200. Fixed up. Okay, really remodeled rehab. That's kind of what I'm getting at, just based on what I've seen. I am concerned that there are no other flips in this area, so I'm going to base my number on that. Let's be conservative. We'll say it'll go for 180 if it's really done nice and tastefully. Then if I go 0.65 minus 60 on repairs, so 117 minus 60, I'm at 57. If I want to make 10,000, I'd be down to 47. So if I was to try to flip this or to wholesale this, I'd probably come in at about 50% of this price, around 50 to 60 tops. That's what I would offer if I was to do a flip on this. One thing that I didn't do, and I suggest that you do this, is always check the Google Maps Street View too, just to see why or what the street does look like. That is something that's important. Why is this not finding it? That's really interesting. There is no street view for this property, huh? Where is the street? Anyway, okay, hopefully you guys got some value out of this. It's now 10 a.m. And you saw me do exactly what it is that I talked about, which was going after on-market properties and learning how to get referrals from agents and building relationships with agents and being upfront with them. If you listen to what I said, one of the things that I said on a regular basis was, look, if I give you a price, that's a price that I can close at. I'm not going to go into the deal and then try to cancel the transaction. So you may not like my number, but at least you know that's what I'm coming in at, and I will close at that number. Right? There's no shame in expressing that to an agent. And in fact, they'll respect that a lot more versus starting higher and then trying to get them to renegotiate and then canceling the contracts, because agents hate that. So all of this should be on our Facebook group. And now you have an idea of how to do that as well. All right. I would be spending at least an hour or two a day doing this on a daily basis, which is working with real estate agents, building relationships with real estate agents, identifying 3 to 5 VIP active agents in markets, 3 different markets that you're focusing on. Okay. All right. It's 10:01. I will see everybody tomorrow at 9 a.m. Tomorrow we are covering dispositions, how to sell these properties once we get them. Okay. So remember, Tuesdays at 9 a.m. always is our acquisitions training. Wednesdays at 9 a.m. is always our dispositions training on how to sell them. All right. I appreciate everybody being here. Have a great day. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Take care. Bye. Share and end.